Duff.
Mike and Steph.
How are you?
Good morning.
What's going on? Hey, good morning, guys.
Wow, it is so cool to have you on the show, man. Where do we begin?
I was just going to say, we had all these questions lined up, and then we heard your voice, and we're like, okay, yeah, we can't do any of this.
Here's the thing. When I saw that you'd written the book, and then I read a couple of things about it, and then when I heard that we could possibly have you on the show, I started thinking about all the possibilities that this book could be about, and one of the things that I thought of was we had Art Alexakis on from Everclear, and he was in that documentary, The Other F Word, which stood for father. And so I didn't know whether this was you talking about being a civilian and talking about the realities of life, but it seems to me it's a combination of, hey, be a man up to the things that are real, but also be a man and be a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've always been a civilian, whether I've been in a big, huge band or not. I really, I grew up in a city and in like a punk rock scene in Seattle that really was kind of all about just the music. And I've always approached it that way. And I got to start writing columns for the Seattle Weekly in 2009 and really began to, be able to articulate my thoughts much better in the written word than I ever could talking, even to my wife. I was much better able to articulate things. And I wrote the first book, It's So Easy book, and it came out in 2011. And it was kind of just the arc of not so much my rock and roll. It's not a tell-all. It's really a tell-all on myself and how did a kid like me get so addicted to drugs and alcohol, and how did I get my way out of there?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, the bigger thing is so many people don't get that chance to get out of there.
Yeah.
Right. And I really wasn't. It wasn't a self-help book at all. It was just a story. It was a story that I chose to tell. And a lot of people read the book and took it a whole different way, and we're okay, if this guy can do it, maybe I can do it. And that was a really nice side effect to that book.
Mm-hmm.
In this book, I am, again, talking as a civilian. I'm a dad of teenage girls.
Oh.
What I thought being a man at 18 or 19 is completely different than what it calls for now, what my duty calls every day. These girls, they watch everything their dad does.
Sure. I've got three daughters too, Duff. One's 26 and the other are 19 and 15, dude. So
you could tell me. I mean, I take a lot of advice from guys who have older kids than mine, especially older daughters. And so the thing, they watch you, right? And so you can't let your guard down at home. I'm in a life that I have to kind of, I can't walk around in my house in my underwear and, swear, and I got to kind of okay, they're watching everything. And you probably had the same thing, Mike, when, you realized when your oldest daughter's probably 9, oh shoot, she watches everything I do.
Well, the other thing is, dude, and how old are your daughters?
17 and 14.
Okay. Well, it's that old saying. We're here with Duff McKagan. The book is How to Be a Man and Other Illusions. But the thing that you realize, two things that I realized, that girls do look for men like their fathers. So you have to uphold a standard, and you hope that you raise them in such a way that they look for a good man, okay?
You cross your fingers every day.
Oh, my God. And the other thing is, you've got to keep their self-esteem up, especially with girls. And I don't think I need to tell you that, but those are the two things. But it's funny. It's funny how people in your position, I think, have more pressure. Wouldn't you like there to be less pressure to be a man?
Well, I mean, the pressure, because I was in a huge band when I was going through all of my troubles. And so a lot of that stuff is out there on YouTube and, interviews with me completely out of my mind. And the girls have grown up to that and asked me a lot of questions about it. And they haven't seen me out of my mind. So it's actually a great, opportunity for me to talk to them about hey, you might actually have that gene in you that I have. You know, you are my daughters. So we should probably keep an eye out for this, that, and the other thing.
Right,
Yes.
yeah,
Right?
of course.
Especially the other
other
thing.
than that, you know, they don't, I mean, your kids, we're just parents of the kids. They don't think of me as anything other than
Right.
dad.
Right.
None of the fancy velvet revolver or any of that stuff.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I feel like they think I'm an idiot all the time. You know.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot when they want to get like something at the store though. Like, Dad, can we go? You know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and just I'm 51 now, but I started this book 3 days before I turned 50, and my Seahawks had just won the Super Bowl. I was in New York, and I was flying home, and I was getting all these sort of texts from my friends, like, dude, the Big 5-0, over the hill, all of this, and I was in the plane, 5.5-hour flight back to Seattle, and I started writing, like, what have I learned anything yet? You know, what does 50 mean? What does being a man mean? Like, what does it mean what is my definition of a man? And it's just sort of, I started outlining the fumbles that I've made, and am I still making them? And did I learn anything from that particular fumble? And I just started writing about it, and it was a column for the Seattle Weekly at first, and it became this book.
We're here with Duff McKagan. The book is How to Be a Man and Other Illusions, and I know you're doing a lot of press for the book. We could talk to you for an hour. But I just want to assure the fans of Duff McKagan, the rock star, that there are a lot of great stories in this book and some lists like albums that every man should listen to, like ABBA's Gold, and the stories that we all love, because life is just about the stories, right? As long as you survive. I just one, and it was in the press release, the age-old question, given the choice, take a private jet to a yacht to hang out with Steven Tyler, or go home and stain your deck. What did you do, Duff?
Well, the deck's not going to stain itself, is it?
Truer words were never spoken.
That's right. But that's so cool because it makes us all realize that it's not it's like when somebody says to my wife, how do you put up with him? He's such a D on the radio, and she says, that's not who he is, it's what he does.
Right.
And I think that's
it took me until I was about 40 to figure that out. Like, I identified myself as I'm Duff, I was probably like 35, not 40, but I'm Duff from Guns N' Roses, and I kind of realized I was going to school. I went back to school in my 30s, and realized I'm just Duff. I'm not Duff from that band. I'm not Duff from that. I'm not Duff the bass player. I got humbled and kind of realized I was just me, and kind of started over again.
Well, listen, man. Again, we could talk to you for an hour. There's so many. I just want to congratulate you.
And I'm just glad that we got a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, because I think this is so cool that you came to these realizations, because really you're just, when it comes right down to it, you have a job, but you're really somebody's husband and somebody's dad, and that's really the most important thing in life. I think you'd agree.
First and foremost.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Duff McKagan, everybody.
For having me on, guys.
Hey, get the book, How to Be a Man and Other Illusions. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.